like a lightning bolt. You feel the ground pounding, that might be the coast. Quick like a joke, like to hit when provoked. Don't you doubt that. That's a Jaguar to a house cat. That's an outcast to a whole squadron. If you talking Houston, then we've got a problem. You'll probably get the horns if you mess with the cattle. Sit back in your saddle and get ready for the fan battle.
Hello, everybody, and thank you for tuning in to the AFC South Fan Battle Podcast. My name is Samantha Warnett. Joining us this evening, we have our commentators. Representing the Jaguars, we have Josh Allen.
That's right.
Representing the Texans, we have Matt Briggs' hat.
Yes, sir.
Representing the Titans, we have Agent Ha.
What about my hat?
Oh, we have Agent Ha's hat.
Thank you.
Built-in camera.
I only said that because Matt was like this. And so you can only
I would have gone with representing the Texans. We have Marilyn Monroe's ghost because that's what it looks like floating behind.
Oh. And representing the Colts, we have Harish Nukala.
I shouldn't bow down because you didn't see my bald spot.
Harish Nukala's chair.
No, the bald spot right there. Oh, never mind. Hello.
We'll fix that after the show. I got you.
I tried.
It's a bald spot. Are we sponsored by Keeps now?
Harish's bald spot brought to you in part by Manscaped.
Oh, good segue. Go ahead and get that out of the way.
No, we're not doing that. Anyways, moving on. Combine. The Combine has kicked off. It's off season, guys. There's not much to talk about, but we have the Combine. And then, of course, you know, the moves within our teams. We'll kick it off, you know, NFL news style and just talk about the Combine. So, what are some highlights? I know, Matt, aren't you like excited about CJ Stroud?
I'm kind of excited about Anthony Richardson, but I mean,
don't be. Can we talk about that? Listen. I am telling you right now.
Hold on, do I want the Texans to pick him up? No, but am I excited to watch him? I mean, come on, the dude's an athletic beast.
Do not be bamboozled by this man. I love Anthony Richardson, the human being. I watched every game he played at Florida. I'm a Florida Gator fan, and I'm telling you, I'm not saying don't draft him, but if some team drafts that guy in the top 10, they're going to regret it because he's
so if you're going to draft him, you're going to have to go get a guy like Derek Carr or Jimmy G. I'm not saying I want him as a Texan. I'm not going to say he's going to be a good quarterback. I'm saying at the Combine, what he does, he's doing great. Like throwing the ball, running, like he's an athletic beast.
And that's exactly why the Combine is meaningless. It's meaningless. It's nonsense. It doesn't mean anything. Like it's just theater. Like it's like the TSA. The TSA can't protect you from terrorists on an airplane. It's all theater. And so is the Combine. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't do anything.
Look how serious John Hall looks right now. He's like, don't you dare.
Well, how many 9/11 attacks have happened since 9/11?
Well,
yeah.
I mean, America. Well, you know, I'm going to shut up.
I haven't seen any 9/12 attacks.
That's right.
We haven't had a president named Bush since then, so you know that's why we haven't had any of those. I'll let you connect the dots there.
But there is a story coming out of the Combine.
John's like, add him.
Listen, I'm already on the list. Like, I'm gonna run my mouth. I know I'm on the list. Like, so no
John's over here writing Josh Allen equals Alex Jones.
I'd be fired if I submitted him now. Should have been on there earlier.
That's true. You got to get some more intel.
We just took another sip. He just finished another 30 seconds of work.
It ain't hard. Listen, Josh puts all his stuff out there. He ain't hard. You know?
He's gonna get in his hoodie and be like, okay,
yeah, we know what he's thinking all the time because he lets everyone know.
Yeah, absolutely. Listen, you know, it is what it is, right? So.
All right, Matt, let's hear it though. We'll circle back to the stuff that matters.
What's called Georgia prospect, the number one prospect for the whole draft. The Bears was talking about getting him. Jalen Carter got arrested as soon as he got there because he falsified reports saying that he was nowhere near a drag racing that ended up with two people losing their lives, which is sad. But yeah, come to find out, he was in the car that was racing and was intoxicated. So
was he driving?
No, he wasn't driving.
Then it doesn't matter. That's
yeah.
weird for me.
Yeah, I don't.
But right,
I thought he was. I thought they said he was driving.
No, he wasn't driving. It was his car. He was not driving. But the thing is, why lie? Like, if you weren't driving,
I don't know.
You
That
didn't
feels
go on
like
scene.
that feels like a
So-
lie that they're making up to
Because,
protect.
because
Yeah,
it
that's what I'm
doesn't
gonna say.
Well, here's the thing: your reputation's gonna be like everyone's gonna look at you like side-eyed, even if you were just in the car. It doesn't matter if you were like any way tangentially involved in the event. People look down on you no matter what. It's not fair, but that's what they do.
Guilty.
Well,
as
but I
charged.
mean,
the
that's-
number one pick in my opinion.
I think it's fair to say you're a couple months away from possibly being drafted number 1 / in the top 10, and you're getting drunk and being involved, whether you're driving or not being involved, with with the sort of activity that can wind up killing somebody. So whether I'm not saying don't draft him, but like I understand a team would question, like, we got to talk to this guy about like
Well, it's
what
kind of
on
like
earth were you
the.
doing? Like,
Well, it's kind of like you have the short months between, like, once you say like, I'm gonna enter the draft. You get an agent. You start doing all this stuff. You start conditioning and preparing. So if you're choosing to get drunk and drag race during the time, like the most important time that you need to be.
well, apparently it happened right after the
national
championship
championship.
game. Yeah,
Yeah,
right
this-
after.
This happened right after the national championship game. So this has
Yeah.
nothing to do with bowl or combine prep or anything. He literally was. Now, did he over celebrate? Sure, whatever. But I don't know. I think it's all. But I can, to John's point, I see what they're saying. They're gonna make this something it's not. It may or may not hurt his draft stock. Did he work out this weekend?
I don't think he worked out, but I think he did go talk to people. I'm not 100%.
Let's
sure.
see.
But if you remember a couple of years back, Laramie Tunsil was in kind of the same situation, but he didn't kill nobody. He was just caught smoking weed. And look at his stock. His stock
No,
dropped.
that's fair.
He went from first pick overall to what, 13th, 14th by the Dolphins. So I mean,
what's crazy is I think now like the thoughts have changed around
Does it?
that. I bet there wouldn't
Yeah.
really be as much of a
right.
stigma around
But-
that.
I mean,
Right,
it wouldn't
but-
be as big, but people would still they'd be saying something, and people would look. Yeah,
Exactly.
And
the bad thing-
mountains out of molehills all the
The
time.
bad thing about Jalen
That's what it
Carter
is.
too is, I mean, Henry Ruggs just happened a couple of years ago. Him killing somebody, drinking and driving. Like there's a lot of stuff that plays factors to it. But
I think some of it, our team's making a big deal out of it because they're trying to get him for cheap,
cheap, right?
right? So I think that's
So he
But-
actually did get booked for reckless driving and for racing.
Right.
I'm pretty sure he was driving.
And he was.
Yeah, I don't think you get booked for reckless driving if you're the passenger.
The reports I saw was saying that he was a passenger, but I could be
Yeah,
wrong.
it seems like an odd charge to have if you were a passenger.
I do think it's funny too how many people are ignorant of the fact that if you have your cell phone on you and it's on, like the police are going to find out if you were in a particular location or close to a particular location at a particular time. Like just lying and saying, "No, I was miles away from there." Like you're stupid.
Right.
Like,
Well, that's
you're
what I'm
gonna
saying.
get-
Like, why even lie about it? I mean, like you said, Josh, people are gonna find reasons to make the stock drops, right? So any reason, this guy lied because his aunt mama said she was 5'8", but she's 6 foot. Like, they're gonna figure.
I think he
out,
probably
like,
lied more because of the
Right, the legal
criminal
Consequences, yeah.
Right, I get that, but
Yeah,
I mean-
if he was driving, he definitely lied for the legal consequences.
Yeah.
right. Well, that's another thing. Like, if he was driving, then that's kind of hard to, to lie about, right? I don't know
I mean,
how
he'd-
my
he'd
car
been-
got over there.
He'd been
That-
smarter to just
Isn't
say
that,
nothing.
Can't you get charged with vehicular manslaughter if that's
If he
Yeah,
was-
that's what I
People
understand.
died, right?
if he
Yeah,
was
that's what I.
driving, we could technically, right?
Yeah, that's what I don't understand about.
But if he
this.
wasn't, then I don't know. It really does depend on was he.
I think
driving
it
or wasn't
depends. Yeah, I think it might
Yeah,
depend.
it
Like if,
says-
they said, like if they were drag racing, then the people who died
But-
were also
hold on.
guilty of
But
reckless
he was
endangerment
driving
as well,
a
so
Jeep
I think they might-
Cherokee.
I don't know.
He was driving a Jeep Cherokee, so he wasn't drag racing.
Oh, we don't know that. Some people like.
You
to
know,
go
Yeah,
on
but-
Google.
like if he's
Pretty prejudiced against Jeep Cherokees. I'm just
Yeah,
gonna say.
that's-
yeah, but you know what we mean. He's racing somebody else, right?
You don't have a horsepower.
Not everyone's Dom Toretto, all right?
I guess
the
he lives
other
his
one-
life a quarter mile at a
so-
time, right? Like,
He was
Sam-
he was driving a Jeep Jeep.
Are you trying to determine how fast he could have possibly been going? Is that what
No,
we're trying to
but
go
no,
through the
but
make
we're
and
talking
models
about
here? We're trying to figure
happenstance.
out,
So
like-
the other person was driving a Ford Expedition, and they were both going over 100 miles an hour. So
It's not bad for an expedition.
I guess it would be like,
honestly, just on that alone, they should get off. Like, that's impressive. Like,
That's pretty-
like you know what?
Well,
Please don't do it again. You're free to go.
We got you.
But I think
Yeah.
the ones that.
so I guess
died
that
were
would be
next
hard.
conditions,
Yeah, I guess that would be hard to say. Like, did he kill them, or how did the accident happen? Anyway,
well, that's the thing.
Sad
Is like, you
situation.
could get charged with vehicular manslaughter, but like if you're not, it's like I think they would if the other person in the other car is also breaking the law, I think then they might not. I don't know. I don't know.
They're going to charge you with the stiffest penalty they think they can prove in court, right?
Yeah.
Because what they don't want to go to court. They want to force you to plea. Right. They want to plead out. So they're gonna charge up to what they know they can. They're not gonna have to fight you on to get you to plea out and take a deal.
Yep.
So
he was at the combine, so it seems like a very a prospect the Jaguars would definitely.
so VT
Was his 40 time faster than his Cherokee's 40 time?
All right, sir. If you want to get drafted in the first round, you have to beat this Jeep Grand Cherokee in a 40-yard deck.
BT is pretty familiar with the case. He said that the police have surveillance video, but nothing has been released or commented about it. So he could be driving, he couldn't be driving. So we'll find out.
All I'll say is you
To
should
be
never talk to the
continued.
cops. Don't lie to the cops. Don't talk to the cops. Don't say a word. In any situation where the cops may accuse you of anything, don't ever say a word.
Well, I mean, but he did the right thing though, right? Like turn himself in, bail out, and go to the combine.
I mean, what's he gonna do?
And then lied about it. That's true. Did the exactly the right thing.
Yeah, didn't he take time before he turned himself in?
Yeah, well, when he landed in Indianapolis, he found out
He
that
realized it was
a warrant out
inevitable
for-
that they knew he was there. He did the right thing.
Okay, he did the right.
It was either he turned himself in or they come get him at that point. So it's not like he had some sort of a burden of
What a stand-up guy.
yeah.
It's not like they didn't know who he was.
But again, if you're listening to the show and you learn nothing else, never talk to the cops. Never. Don't ever talk to them. Don't ever say
That
a
is
word.
terrible advice.
That is, I will send you a video from a lawyer and a police officer that gave a talk, and it will change your mind. You should never talk to the police.
That's actually common advice that people give you: is do
Yes.
not talk to the police.
Ask any
Jalen-
lawyer.
Jalen Carter screwed up big time, or this is a comment that came in from Chris Jackson. Jalen Carter screwed up big time, and he might drop in the draft depending on what happens. So, I mean, that's without saying. I feel like anybody's going to be scared to touch him because you're going to end up with drafting him and then
Well, so
he's in jail,
that basically helps the Bears, right? Like they were either it was Will Anderson or Jalen Carter. Well, now he's gonna fall to like the 10th, 12th pick. They can trade for the Colts. They can trade to the Panthers. Like they can trade back and still get.
You
the guy
think
they want.
Jalen Carter
So-
will still get picked up in the first round?
Absolutely.
100%.
Listen, the odds of him doing
100%.
long jail time are slim to none.
Yeah,
Like, he will plea out on some sort of probation, community service. He'll pay some fines. He's not going to jail. All this is a gambit by the NFL teams to get him for cheaper. So somebody's going to try to get him at a discount.
He's
you
gonna
know,
go. He's gonna go on tour and apologize. And
Yeah, he's not going to jail.
he's not going to jail. I agree.
I
But-
mean,
But it helps teams that are trying to move up.
I mean, if you're thinking of it as the NFL is a business, which it is, right? Like the teams are going to try to get the most talent they can for the least amount of money they have to pay for it. That's just bottom line. So, if you're sitting in the middle of the first round, of course you're going to bang the drum about, all the things he did. There's a lot of smoke screens going on from some of these teams because they want him to fall into the middle, late first round so they can grab him, when they wouldn't have had a chance
They
before.
wouldn't have to pay him as much. And the
Yeah.
difference in pay between like the number one pick and like the middle of the first round is pretty significant.
Yeah, it is.
Right.
Yeah.
Like
Once you get out of the
10,
top 10, it drops off
Yeah,
pretty quickly.
yeah, we know we're Jaguars fans. We always have the first pick. All right. Anything else that stood out from the combine besides this?
CJ Stroud is the best quarterback in this draft class, hands down, period, point blank.
Did you hear his comments in his interview? He looks up to Deshaun Watson and
Don't care.
That's what he
who
said.
else what was the other guy said? Mike Vick and Deshaun Watson. He said
Wow. Did he really say that?
He really said that.
He really said that.
Well.
Literally couldn't
Really
say.
planted in his cheek.
No, I mean, I don't know. Like, I don't know the guy enough well enough to tell you, but
like he's like that has to be like joking, right? Like
no, it didn't.
Serious.
I don't know him well enough to say for certain, but it doesn't. It's not an obvious joke if he's joking. It seemed pretty serious when
just that answer feels like an obvious joke.
No, man, I don't think it was. I mean, he's an OSU quarterback, and we all know that they're not very bright and they don't pan out.
You
in the
mean
league, so.
Ohio State?
OSU. That's what I said.
Oh, they said
I thought you said LSU too.
Oh, sorry, OSU, Ohio State, not. But LSU quarterbacks don't pan out.
So who gets CJ Stroud? Is it the Texans?
It's the Colts.
Yes. Unless the Colts move up, which
Right all the way to line.
they probably will. To get Bryce Young, then it'll be the Texans.
Okay, hold on. Let's take a trip down memory lane real quick. You guys remember in seasons past when we're talking about the draft, and Harish used to love that the Colts always traded out of the first round.
Yep.
Anybody remember that?
Yep.
How you feel about that now, Harish?
Well, I mean, I still don't have a quarterback, so you go all the way up to number 1.
Carson Wentz is available.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been on the CJ Stroud train for basically all year, so I'm doing whatever it takes to get CJ Stroud. I don't care if Ballard.
So what are you doing to get CJ Stroud?
Future first round picks, players, and combination of anything. You'd give up anything.
Would you give up 2 first-round picks to jump up and get him?
100%. Here's the thing. This is the best position the Colts are going to be in to get.
I say get Harish on the staff already.
Yeah, get me on the staff. Let me be the GM. I'll make it happen tomorrow. But here's the thing. Shane Steichen, his number one thing with quarterbacks is accuracy. And CJ Stroud is the most accurate quarterback in this draft class. And it's not even close, actually, accuracy-wise. And
You guys only have 1 first-round pick?
Yeah.
You guys would never trade for picks. Never mind.
Not really.
The Texans have 2.
Yeah.
So
yeah. I'm also
But
personally
Texans
a
ain't.
fan. I'm not a Anthony Richardson fan. If God forbid we draft Anthony Richardson, I might cry in a corner. Same with Will Levis. I mean, for me, it's really it's between Young and Stroud. But I've been so high on Stroud all year, really.
But the Texans ain't going to draft, so it's all on I think it's going to be the Colts, the Panthers, and maybe the Falcons or the Raiders try to trade up.
To me, the Texans have no reason to trade up. They are in the perfect spot. They just get whoever somebody else doesn't pick up, right?
Right.
Did you see the article about Will Levis?
Yeah, where he said he does not drink mayo in his coffee.
No. So there was a thing that he puts mayo in his coffee from time to time. That came out a couple months ago. So
at the combine, he said those were false. That he was just goofing around. He really doesn't put.
Yeah.
mayo.
Okay.
But,
Well, he's also apparently afraid of milk.
Yeah.
The man is scared of milk. If he sees milk, he's terrified of milk. Can you imagine drafting Will Levis as your quarterback and fans literally just bring like jugs of milk into the stadium and the man is just terrified on the sideline? Like I'm telling you right now, I will smuggle milk into TIAA Bank Field and I will throw milk at Will Levis if one of your idiot teams draft this man. And he eats bananas with the peel on. He doesn't peel the bananas before he eats them.
I feel like this is also trolling, just like the mayo and the coffee.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
I don't know.
If it is true, I hope the Colts or the Texans draft him.
Yeah, he definitely needs to go to the Colts.
Absolutely.
That's the comment that just came in.
If I don't get Young or Stroud, I'm trading out of the first round and going to go get Hooker in the second round or something like that.
Why give him in the 4th?
Oh, fine, I'll take that too. I want nothing to do with Levis or Richardson. I'm sorry. I don't know what it is, but
I would take Richardson before Levis for sure, but I wouldn't want to.
Well, that's the thing about those two quarterbacks. Those two quarterbacks have low start off, but their ceiling is so high. But that's
Will Levis? No
yeah.
way.
Yeah,
Will
he's
Levis
one.
sucks, dude.
He's one that rated the most potential in the draft. He's probably the highest potential over.
Listen, I'll just go on record right now. Will Levis will never be a successful starter for an NFL team.
Will Levis.
My opinion, I think he's Blake Bortles, but
no,
but that's just,
I think Will Levis is going to end up being Sam
He's
Darnold.
not that good. Come on.
If you compare him to
But
Blake
Harish,
Bortles,
you liked Sam Darnold.
I did like Sam Darnold, and then he went to shit. I liked Sam Darnold when he was coming out of college, and then he went to shit.
I mean, he's still out there, so that could be your quarterback.
He's like fucking basically 30 at this point. I don't want him. Listen, y'all are not gonna try to sit here and troll me. I told you who I wanted. All right.
Sam Darnold is what you told me. I've heard you say that many times.
Cut the crap. Give me CJ Stroud.
Yeah, I heard that Frank Reich was God and all kinds of stuff on this podcast.
Yeah, I
so.
heard that too.
So
Listen,
who
I
knows?
could be a Titans fan too and move goalposts all I want.
Goalposts have I been moving?
I know a Titans fan that moved the goalpost so far he became a Chiefs fan, but we won't mention it.
That's what goalposts I moved.
Dead.
I wasn't talking about you,
man.
Agent. I was not talking about you. No, that's not.
Oh no, that was stupid. That was not funny. When it
Well,
was
last thing before we move on, why didn't Bryce Young
grow enough? I don't know.
no,
Sounds
he's
like
not
you were
throwing.
telling a joke. I was waiting for the punchline. Why did Bryce Young cross the road?
Why isn't
Find his
he
platform
throwing?
shoes.
Does anybody know?
Why?
What do
What?
you-
Why isn't he throwing at the combine? Like,
Because he's short.
Good
is it
question.
he
I don't
just
think
decided
Bryce
not
Young
to?
has anything to gain by throwing.
Oh, I think throwing. Yeah, I don't know. I think he's waiting till his pro day. Wasn't he? Is he injured?
I don't know. That's what I'm saying.
I don't think
understand
he
why
is.
he's
I
not.
think the only reason why he came to the combine was his measurements, and that didn't help him at all either.
From what I
But-
mean, from what I've heard, isn't that the biggest thing they look at? Really, like forget all this 40-yard dash stuff and all that.
Yeah.
They pretty much they're looking at hands, the size of hands.
Yeah.
You know, wingspan, things
your
like
height and your weight, and yeah.
Well, I do think they look at the 40. I think the 40, the vertical leap, and then their actual physical measurements seem to be what I see everybody focusing on. But what do I know? I've never.
that. I actually,
But to your point-
I got a shot of Dougie P up there, and he's like, got his tongue out, like filling out his sheet.
Got
all-
Michael Jordan going on, does he?
Yeah, like writing down notes. So should be an interesting draft for the Jaguars. Well, let's move on. Break down our individual teams, and then we'll sign off this bad boy. So who we got up first, Matt? Production. Jaguars
Oh,
first.
God. Listen, I hate my team. I'm just going to say it right now. I don't know if you guys saw the NFLPA report cards. They interviewed all the players.
Oh man, we forgot to go over
hate-
that. Yeah.
I hate my organization more than any of you will ever hate the Jacksonville Jaguars. I went on record when the thing came out about rats being in the concession stand saying that the Jaguars need to do something. They need to talk about this. They need to get out in front of it and say, we're putting pressure on the city of Jacksonville because the city of Jacksonville runs the stadium, even the part where the locker rooms are. But let me back up a sec. So the NFLPA did surveys of all the players about different conditions, all the different aspects of playing for that team. And the Jaguars, from a personnel standpoint, they love their coaches, they love the staff, they love the culture there. But the locker room apparently for 3 to 4 weeks was infested with rats. And this is like a locker room that, by the way, is $3-4 million locker room, right? They went through and did some heavy renovations. It is, I've been in there before. They do tours. Like, it is a nice setup. It's not like cheap looking. So rats being in there is like a big deal. And the Jaguars have said not a word. They didn't say a word about the concession stands during the season, getting the health inspectors report where there was rats. They said nothing about this survey from the players. And it just frustrates me to no end that they will not get out in front of this and put pressure on the city because they're in the middle of negotiations for a new stadium. And to me, I'd be banging that drum pretty hard. We definitely
Well,
need some.
I think a lot of that too did come from all the construction. that they're doing around there and all the things that they've torn down and
I don't
things
know.
like that. The biggest thing that did bother me about that is when they mentioned that one of the players' girlfriends had to breastfeed her baby on the bathroom floor.
Yeah.
But I have to kind of like be like, no, because they have a breastfeeding area specifically for everybody. So when I read that, I was like,
For me,
yeah, John Hobb breastfed down there when he came to see the Golds play.
When he was visiting, he came down there to the breastfeeding area.
But I will say, I think some of this will be alleviated. They're building, they're spending what, like $20-30 million on that
Yeah.
practice stadium and office
doesn't
facility.
stuff like this
Which-
help the Jaguars get a new stadium though?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. And it doesn't feel like they're
Like,
using
doesn't-
it to do that.
Yeah.
But the NFLPA did say that. They said, that being said, we know that they're in the process of doing renovation, so it's going to be better. But yeah, that one about the breastfeeding thing really bothered me. So for those women out there who are pregnant going into next season, if you go down, to the main concourse, there is it's called like Little Jags thing or Jags Cubs or something like. There is a breastfeeding area at the Jaguar Stadium.
But the only bad thing is that this could eventually hurt teams, like getting free agents and stuff like that. Like, did y'all hear about the Cardinals? They make their players pay for their lunch.
That
Crazy.
was crazy.
Like,
What?
what? Yeah.
The food at the
Yeah.
facility is not free to the players. They have to pay. They basically dock their pay. And the players said not only did they have to pay for it, but it was awful. Like the food was terrible. Like not good at all.
Yeah.
Yes.
Holy.
And they showed the locker room, like where they're like
Terrible.
it's like literally like a fold out table. But I was shocked too to see that the Chiefs didn't score very high.
Nope.
They scored very low too. And that was,
Well, it's a pretty old stadium
Well,
though.
yeah. Can we just
Yeah.
say Arrowhead Stadium is
Arrowhead's
awful?
ancient.
It's really old.
yeah. Yeah, so
Actually,
there's
Like,
gonna
it's-
be
it-
But
I think
it's
who's
one
in
of those
top five,
stadiums
right?
that it's so historic that it's like they don't build a new one because it's
Well,
it's
they're
no longer
about-
Arrowhead, right? So all you can do is
Sadly, I live
put-
up here,
put
so
new coats of paint.
I know a lot of. They're about to build a new one. They're
They've
building
got
a new
to.
Yeah.
a new
Oh
baseball
yeah, they have to.
and football stadium downtown Kansas City.
yeah,
What
because
about what about like Green
But
Bay?
you know who's top 5? The Texans, number 4. Pulling that Deshaun Watson, best stadium ever.
Yeah, they said the massage therapists were
Yes,
top-notch.
It's
Yeah.
wonderful, wonderful. Yes, the ending is fantastic.
I mean, but NRG is a new stadium.
Right.
Yeah, relative.
So when
to-
you
Well,
when you
like-
look at that and you look at market also, like NRG is new, Houston's
Again,
got a
like,
bigger
there's no-
market.
It doesn't. Yeah, just because you have like the best stadium doesn't mean your team is good though.
Well, I know that. I mean, John, my team's
You know
so
who
horrible.
scored
I
really
gotta
bad? The
brag
team that
about
just
that.
won the
That's
Super Bowl. You know, it doesn't matter. Like
So that's what I'm saying. My team's so horrible. I gotta brag about that. I mean, come on now.
I've been to NRG. It is a nice stadium.
it is a
And
very,
trust me, you got
right.
RJ Ellison bragging about the Titans developing a new Top Golf as a stadium. Like, come on now.
Very nice.
Listen,
They're gonna have a very nice
I've been to-
IKEA
listen,
with a football field.
I've been to Nissan Stadium and I've been to a Top Golf. Top Golfs are way nicer.
So Josh, I will say, on top of that, also I did get my season ticket renewal, and my
How much did it jump?
Okay, so I guess everybody else's went up a lot, but I'm no longer grandfathered into founding prices, so mine went up to $50 per seat.
As a percentage, how much is that though? That's what, like 25-30%, right?
I can't do math. What are you making me do math for? I don't know. Hold on. Give me 2 seconds.
Because the dollar amount tells me nothing. If you're paying $2,000 a seat and it goes up $250, it's different than if you're paying like $750 a seat and it goes up $250.
oh, true.
So it would be, damn, I don't
That's what
know.
you get for having a
It's
team
a
that
lot.
won.
It's a lot of percent. Okay.
Is it more than half of what you currently pay for what?
No.
Okay.
No.
Not more than.
I would say it's about 20%.
So that would be more than 10%.
Yes, it was more than 10. He said half.
That's true.
Well, I've seen a couple people posted online. Some of the sections, and not even like the super premium sections of the stadium, have jumped like 32-33%. Like some people's tickets. So,
Maybe
like,
mine's 32, 30. I don't know.
and you
because I
gotta
can't do
understand,
math.
like Jacksonville is not like a even middle of middle class, like it's lower middle class, like working class, like
Okay, so for comparison, it was $7.85 per seat.
Okay.
Yes, for the 9 games, and now it's $1,035. So what's the percentage on that?
It's like 25%.
31.8%.
That's how much mine went up. Now,
31?
most of those people were probably founding members. I know the people that sit next to me, they're fairly new, and theirs only went up $100. So I guess they're not
you renewing?
honoring. Come on, of course I am. Of course,
That's why they're doing it.
That's
They're
one of
doing
those
it.
that just complains just to complain.
it hurt, but I did it. But anyways, do you have any other?
Josh Senior, we did talk about that. You missed it. I said I hate my team more than you'll ever hate them, because my team isn't talking about it, and doesn't feel like they're doing anything to solve the problem.
But for the first time ever, you have Jaguars players that are wanting to stick around. They're restructuring their contracts. How does that feel? And then we'll move on.
It's pretty cool, and it's pretty cool, the reports that I've heard, that Trevor Lawrence sort of spearheaded some of those talks. Like, he took people out to dinner, had them over, like, and he's doing a lot
Was
to
it
say, like,
Waffle House?
I hope so. That would be amazing. Can you imagine, like, a Waffle House filled with Jaguar players, and Trevor Lawrence is going, like, table to table, trying to get guys to buy in to, like, restructure their contract to stick around to make
I'll
another
get you
run.
a pecan waffle
Like,
if you.
bro, listen, I'll get you extra hash browns, anytime you want. Just stick with me. But it's just pretty neat, because we've had other quarterbacks who were bought in, right? Like Blake Bortles was a guy who was bought in. David Garrard was a guy who was bought in, right? They loved being here. They loved playing for Jacksonville, but they didn't have the talent that Trevor Lawrence does. Calvin Ridley, he has applied for reinstatement, but I don't know if it's been approved or not. I've not heard anything on it. All the reports I've heard.
His suspension was. Yeah, I thought his suspension, he'd served it. I thought he was like.
It's indefinitely, so they can make it longer if they want. It's indefinitely.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
See, I thought that they said a year, and then it was like when the year's over,
He's suspended indefinitely with the option to reapply as of some date in February. I forget what day it was. And he said he applied for reinstatement, and I guess there's some process that they go through with him and the NFLPA and the league. And I've not heard any status on it. Every report I've seen seems to think that there's no reason he wouldn't be at this point. Like, but who knows, right? Like, he's not on the team until I hear he's on the team. If he is on the team, I think he will play.
Interesting case with that guy too, because he, like, before his suspension, he stepped away. He just said, "I need a mental break from this."
Yeah.
That's why I said I wasn't a
like,
fan.
People forget about that too. People,
Yeah, I
like,
wasn't.
Yeah, like.
Well, I wonder if some of that was just he knew what was coming down the pike, right? He knew he's busted for.
He's like probably getting
gambling.
And he played for the Falcons, so.
So the Jaguars are gambling on whether or not Calvin Ridley is going to be reinstated for gambling.
Yes, I do think so. I mean, it's a big gamble too. It's a $18 million cap hit or something, if I read correctly. I think what you're going to see there, that's the reason I don't think the Jags are going to make a big splash in free agency in the wide receiver market, and I think you'll see probably Marvin Jones Jr. Move on from the team this year. I don't know if his contract's up or if they're going to cut him, but that's just the rumors that people seem to be circulating around. But to answer Sammy's question, and then I'll shut up about my stupid team. It feels nice to have players actually want to play in Jacksonville. And I know, it's a small sample of success so far, but it's just, it feels night and day different with Doug Peterson at the helm and Trevor Lawrence as the quarterback. Like, it feels like there is the first time in a long time, a real chance that the Jaguars might have some sustained success in a culture that isn't just, losing over and over again.
I feel like you're in an upswing at the right time too, just considering the division that you're in. Like,
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, considering the Titans released all their players,
Yeah, the timing is perfect. And you know what? A lot of the times that's kind of what it comes down to a lot. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
luck is a big element.
Kind of like, a lot of these things come down to ebbs and flows. Like, every team has their ebbs and flows for the most part. It's hard to have that sustained success. And so, like, when you start swinging at the right time.
Well, that's a good segue, John. Oh.
Well,
John.
Wow. Horrible
Jeez
segue
Louise.
here, by the way.
Do you even know what you're doing?
Yeah.
No,
Hello?
it's me and Matt both trying to click at the same time. Titans.
What about Titans?
Well, speaking of John, hold on, we got a comment for him. Will Jeffrey Simmons be the next Titan headed to the Eagles?
I'm glad this is perfect timing.
I mean,
Talking about Jeffrey Simmons.
Yeah.
I mean,
You heard what he
I
did.
want
right?
him to stay. Yeah, he's doing the thing that all the players do when they want the big payday, which
He deserves it, just like AJ Brown did.
Like I said, I think that I've been on record. I don't know if it's been here or other places that I
It's
felt
been
that
here.
Jeffrey Simmons, besides Aaron Donald, has been the best interior lineman in the league.
God, how many podcasts are
Aaron
stepping
Donald
out on
clearly
us
number
with?
one, but I thought that Jeff Simmons was there. So the guy's a monster. He's a beast, and I think that I want him to stay. I don't know what this new GM's going to do, so it's a big mystery. I know what would happen if J-Rob was still there. It would lowball the hell out of him and then let him walk and try to draft a replacement. I know that's what they would do, but I don't.
And then all the fans could be like, "Oh, he's just the next Jeffrey Simmons. It's okay."
Yeah. Trade him for a out of shape, asthmatic defensive tackle, right? That's what we do.
Exactly.
What do you think about some of these moves so far? Like, how are you feeling? I mean, obviously, like you said, it's a new GM. It's expected.
Mm-hmm. And oftentimes, I know a lot. You see a lot of new GMs just want to make their personal stamp on the team. So sometimes these people that are staples of the franchise get moved out because the GMs are ready to no, I'm going to create my team. I'm not just going to try to patch the holes that the other GM messed up. I'm going to create it for how I want to do it.
Right.
So it's what's up?
Comment from Josh Senior: when he all cut Bud Dupree so he can go back to Walgreens.
Yeah, Bud Dupree's definitely going to get cut. I liked the Bud Dupree signing, and I like what he did when he was on the field, but I got tired of paying him $20 million a year to have 1.5 good games and then sit for three games. You just can't have that. It's unfortunate. If it were up to me on the defense, Denico Autry and Jeffrey Simmons. That's who's important on the defensive line. I don't. Simmons has been pretty vocal about wanting to stay in Tennessee. I don't know what that means, but again, a lot of these things come down to money. This is where the agents go to work. This is where the GMs talk to agents, and the players like to just sort of distance themselves from the public. So we're just going to wait and see who actually gets them.
These comments tonight, this is off season, honestly.
This is how bored we get.
Yeah. Have you seen my baseball? That's Michael Roach. Have you seen my baseball? Man, good old off season. So, cap wise, how are you guys doing? Because I know that was a questionable thing.
I mean, better than we have been in recent years, but still not great. So I know we've got some room to spend money, but again, when it comes to Jeffrey Simmons, these things are for signing bonuses. You can sign a player in cap space hell, but the owner has to have the money to just pay him with signing bonuses, and then you solve all the problems. You know what I mean? So it's just a question of how much is Amy Adams what's she gonna Amy Adams Strong? Yeah, so how much she's gonna. I was thinking the actress when I said Amy Adams. Anyway. Right. It's just how much is she willing to pull out of her own personal checkbook to because that's really what it comes down to.
Because you have to be careful
because what it is, but
yeah, you have to be careful because look at the Rams. That's what the Rams did, and they got and they got a Super Bowl out of it. But
you say the Rams
just that
did
year.
exactly what they wanted to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but don't you want to build a dynasty and build a culture? They literally got a
Super Bowl. Listen,
just it.
I
That's
don't
it.
have
Just
a Super
one.
Bowl. I'd like one. Thank you. I'd like one, please.
I mean, at least you went to the Super Bowl. But my point isn't the goal to
And I'd like to actually have a Super Bowl because here's the thing: once you win the Super Bowl, great. 10 years later, no one's going to give a care that the team fell apart because of the cap space hell. They're going to remember how successful the team was. That Rams.
Well, I mean,
Super Bowl,
look at the Colts. That's all they talk about. That's all they talk about.
But that's all that matters is winning the Super Bowl. You could say, "Oh, okay." Guess what?
See, prime example. Here's a comment that just
Colts
came in.
Got it done. You know what's more valuable than potential? Actually winning the Super Bowl. A bird in the hand's is worth two in the bush. I don't care. I don't care about unknown potential.
Hold on, I gotta write that one down. A bird in the hand is worth two in the bush.
Have you never heard that expression before?
I haven't.
I'm sorry. You're
what?
Yeah, you're.
There's no way
you guys aren't.
I've never heard
I've,
that.
I've actually never
You
heard
never-
that question.
You never heard of Ozzy Osbourne? I mean, come on now.
I'm coming.
Is that an
Anyway,
Ozzy Osbourne thing? I didn't.
Or what? He
No,
references one of
exactly.
his songs.
I probably.
The argument was that like I think with the Rams did exactly what they wanted to do. They paid all this a bunch of money to get the Super Bowl. They got the Super Bowl. Okay, yeah, they're paying for it now, but the ends justified the means. When it comes to the
I've heard
Titans,
that
I
one.
don't know. Yeah, okay.
I've heard
I don't know. I don't know what our new GM is looking to do. I can tell you right now, Vrabel's the kind of guy who would do that. Vrabel's the kind of guy who would mutilate his own genitalia to win a Super Bowl.
You know what? That's why I always love it or hate it. Will say that Mike Vrabel is one of the best coaches in the NFL.
Oh, I agree.
Like, I think that like everything that they say that Dan Campbell is, I think that's what Mike Vrabel actually is. You know how they talk about Dan Campbell as a head coach. I think that's what Vrabel really is.
Mm-hmm.
But I think
Yeah.
Vrabel's going to have a lot more accountability this next season too, though. Like
Well,
it was really easy to throw J. Rob under the bus for this last previous year. I don't know how much influence Braves had, but he's definitely going to have more influence
Yeah.
these upcoming years.
I don't think
he's
he
going to
had
be definitely
much,
under a
'cause-
microscope. He's going to be, yeah. But here's the thing: he's elevated people on the staff already to replace, like, who we fired on the coaching staff. I was like, okay, we got rid of Downing. It was like, okay, cool, great. What are you going to do, Braves? Because you're the one in charge of the coaching hires. Okay, let me just go ahead and elevate Tim Kelly. Why? Like, wasn't this like, I don't understand. Like, so, like, as much as people were ready to blame J-Rob for the play calling and Todd Downing for the play calling, Vrabel needs to take some accountability for who's replacing him. But who knows? Maybe
Especially when you
Kelly's
have
gonna
people
be-
like Matt Nagy and Eric Bieniemy out there interested in his job. You know, like guys who were.
Yeah,
part
don't
of-
even get me started on the enemy. Like, I don't understand. Like,
Yeah.
I don't.
That blows
I
my
don't-
mind. That blows my
It's-
mind.
I didn't understand that either.
I think
Yeah,
Jackson Mahomes put a curse on him.
Speaking of Jackson Mahomes,
That's Mahomes. I was about to say.
Yeah, well, Jackson
he's not-
Mahomes, he's got bigger
John-
problems right now.
Yeah,
But
John,
So
John
here's an
Hall's
interesting question.
on the run for him.
what's the name of the draft guy? The guy in the draft that is in trouble for racing? I'm drawing a blank.
Jalen Carter.
Jalen Carter. Who does more jail time, Jackson Mahomes or Jalen Carter?
So I don't
It got to
even.
be Jackson Mahomes.
I think it's gonna be
right?
Jackson Mahomes.
I mean, it's a
should we
sexual
ask
assault.
Calvin Ridley? He could give us the odds on that.
I thought that Jackson Mahomes was gay.
Well, that was the headline. The most
What?
shocking part that of the news story was that it was a lady and not
That's
a man.
right.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like
Well, has anybody seen the video?
no.
Yeah, it's not good.
Mhm.
It was kind of
Yeah,
weird.
it's not-
I mean,
it doesn't look good.
It's
No,
not good at
definitely.
all. But it's he just runs up there and humps, which is not right. But he don't like. No.
No,
He-
he did not. He did
Yeah.
not. He wasn't shy about it at
He-
all. He waltzed
he can
into
still
that
be
with
gay,
confidence as
but-
if he was part of the team.
Yeah.
Yeah. He can
Yeah,
still
but
be gay,
did he
but
sexually assault or sexually harass? I don't know. Is there a difference? Who knows?
He
Whatever.
he
I
he
mean,
kissed
what
the lady
constitutes
against her will
assault?
3 or
Because
4
he-
times.
Yeah.
and then
Landed his face right on her face. Just
And then-
grabbed her and right
then
there.
thru-
Doesn't hide.
then pulled Deshaun Watson and thrusted himself against her a couple times
Yeah,
too.
it's bad. Like the video is
So,
bad.
I haven't
You
seen
know,
it.
Yeah.
No,
haven't
it's,
seen
it's
it.
not pretty.
That's not hard to find. It's probably on his TikTok.
Probably. I guarantee, and I'm
Probably
sure
doing a dance with her
at
crying in
some
the background,
point,
like-
Didn't you already
Brittany
know if it is or not, John?
Mahomes has probably already defended him and deleted the tweet too.
I'm sure.
Well, she was in the video too. She was pouring champagne on everyone.
Probably.
Listen, the people don't want to say things like this, but I'll just say it. She seems like she's a moron. Also, like she just.
Yeah.
What do you
seems
mean?
like
Nobody wants to say that. Everybody says that.
Yeah,
no,
she's
I think-
I haven't seen many people criticize her, but like she
I think
seems
Patrick
like a knucklehead.
Nobody
I
can
think
stand
Patrick
her.
Mahomes made a deal
I
with the
have
devil.
never listen.
And-
I have never heard. What's her name? Brittany Mahomes. Is that her name? I haven't heard her say 2 sentences, so I couldn't tell you what her level of intelligence is.
Well,
Look,
yeah,
Patrick
there's a reason
Mahomes
why-
made a
there's
he
a
made a
reason
deal
why-
with the devil, and the devil said, "The only way I'll make you a goat is you have to deal with Brittany Mahomes and Jackson Mahomes."
Yeah.
That is
Well,
the
that's what
deal.
somebody was like, Pat Mahomes is the new Tom Brady. And I was like, yeah, but except now with Pat Mahomes, now we got to deal with Brittany and Jackson. It's
Yeah,
not
we're
like
not
Giselle
doing that.
kind of just like did her
Yeah.
supermodel thing and like looked pretty and like was the mother. And then we got to deal with,
But in
Idiot
her
Brittany
defense,
Mahomes and-
She was a lot better than she was in years past. This year.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
probably
think
'cause they
Patrick
told
told
her.
her.
Right,
yeah,
I
right.
swear, if you
Well, that's what I was
embarrass
about to
me,
say.
Listen,
Yeah.
I think there was a lot of people that sat down and said, "Hey, look,
And
this is not good. This is not good for our brand. This is not
Yeah.
good for image. This is
that's
not
probably
good
why he
for
keeps knocking her up. But like, look, I'm gonna knock you up, so you have to stay at home. You
Right.
can't,
And you can't drink.
Listen, going back to that deal with the devil, if I'm offered that deal, I'm telling you right now, I don't take it. I'd rather be happy in my Toyota than be miserable with Jackson Mahomes and Brittany Mahomes in my Ferrari. Like, I don't know, man. Like,
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm
I don't
good,
know that I
guys.
could do it.
Thanks for no thanks.
I don't know. That's
Hard
I don't know,
pass.
I feel bad for Patrick, and it's like Jesus Christ, man. Like, whew, that's brutal.
Anyways, anything else to add,
Sound like
John?
Kenny Powers.
Anything else to add, John?
I don't know. We're just waiting and seeing. To me, like everyone's already in Titans land. Everybody's already like wishing and hoping that Tannehill gets cut, and I don't think that's going to happen.
I don't think so either.
Me personally, I'd rather they focus all their energy on an offensive line because I think about a healthy offensive line, Tannehill's better than anything that we could get. So, and cheaper. So I say we just fix an offensive line. But other than that,
I honestly do
offseason.
think this truly is their last shot that they can give Derrick Henry to go do something.
Like poke him.
Listen, I said, like, back this up to, like, let's rewind this to last year. I said, like, it's like I was already out, like, saying, no, Derrick Henry's not who you build the team around. Like,
No,
last
I
season, I
agree.
said, it was the 49ers game last season when A.J. Brown single-handedly won that game. And I said, that's the moment that everyone should have known that this is who you build the team around now because the shelf life of running backs is what it is. You've heard this, Reese. You know how I am about running backs. As
Not
great as
disagreeing
Derrick
with you.
Henry is, you know the end is coming. And even in a bad season that everyone thought he was 1,500 yards. But guess what? He's not going to get that many this year either. It's going to be lower and lower and lower. So don't build around Derrick Henry. I think they might try to do one more, like, with, like, the stars on the roster. Let's get one more shot at it while we're still actually really rebuilding. So I don't expect much out of this team. I think it's going to be a very, very underwhelming performance this season, which I don't know how much people expect from them, but I don't think there's going to be much there.
All right. Well, let's move on. Harish. The Colts.
Not much going on here. We hired the special teams coordinator from Notre Dame, so that was pretty interesting. And then just hired an offensive line assistant to the offensive line coach, also from Notre Dame.
And you got a Jaguars coach. What's his name? Jim Bob
Cooter.
Oh, Jim
Bob Cooter.
Oh yeah,
Jim
hell
Bob
yeah.
Cooter.
Jim Bob Cooter. We'll see how that goes.
The most Tennessee name ever.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Really, it's the most Alabama name ever.
Right.
He literally comes
That
with a
sounds like-
banjo.
That
This is
sounds
the thing.
like a Crimson Tide defensive coordinator right there.
I think I guarantee at some point that Colts Stadium is going to end up with rats because it was actually Jim Bob Cooter the whole time.
Oh god.
Just wait. And then you guys can put it on a banner.
Oh yeah. You know how we love our banners. We get a banner.
Hired Jim Bob Cooter with rats.
Yeah, Jim Bob Cooter rat.
Jim Bob.
Move over, Ratatouille.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So, yeah, I mean it's really nothing much. Just building the staff. I don't really think we've heard a couple of comments around what Shane's looking for in a quarterback. Beyond that, it's been really quiet. Nothing
Does
really
Jeff
happening.
Saturday stay on staff or is he done?
I think he's gone.
Yeah, but is he going to be hired
No,
anywhere? No.
He'll be back.
Yeah.
He's,
Special advisor.
why? Here's the thing: if I'm Jeff Saturday and they didn't make me the head coach, why would I stay? I have a coach job at ESPN. What do I need to stay for? I own nothing. I've done my due diligence. for this
Because
thing.
Ursay and Saturday love each other.
Yeah, well, I don't give a fuck. About
Didn't
that.
Ursay come in and do the ultimate favor of just like, all right, that's fine. I'll be the guy that waltz out there and just gives it my
Oh,
best
yeah.
shot, and then
Yeah.
just go back to doing what I do.
Listen. As soon as Shane was announced quarterback, I stopped worrying about what Jeff Saturday was doing. So I don't really care.
So that's
Yeah.
it.
It's been pretty quiet. Yeah, I mean, there's not much going on.
Well,
Just hoping and praying for CJ Stroud. That's all.
Cross your fingers.
That's
Matt?
all I can do.
Okay, so what's the pick in the
Oh.
where are the Colts picking?
4.
Or as of right now,
4.
my hope is that they trade up to 1.
And take Anthony Richardson.
You shut up, Josh.
The
Allen.
Bills probably do want to trade away.
Will
don't
Levis.
they?
Do what?
You think the Bears probably do want to trade that one away, don't they?
Oh yeah, for sure. I think it'll take a couple of picks, probably a first next year. I mean, I'm probably in the minority that want the Colts to trade up, but I think they need to go all the way to 1 and get CJ Stroud. I think he's absolutely what Shane Steichen is looking for. And Steichen has said it multiple times. I want a quarterback that's accurate. Well, you know what? This is the most accurate quarterback in this draft. So this is your best opportunity to go get him.
And your buddy Leslie Allen Turner wants CJ too because it's typed CJ 3 times in the chat. So
CJ.
See, with the second pick, gonna take CJ Stroud.
Yeah. So I'm hoping they find a way to get Stroud. If not, I don't really know what they're going to do in the draft. I'll just sit back and watch. I'm very curious what happens in free agency for the Colts.
Format.
Yeah.
Ballard's basically, to me, Chris Ballard should be throwing the kitchen sink and gambling the future of the Colts because this is his last chance. He has no opportunities after this. If he fucks up this year, he's done. So
That's
Sounds
your
like
boy.
we heard that before.
That's
I
your
was gonna say,
boy.
sounds-
Yeah, that's your
Sounds
boy.
like we heard this before.
I also heard Chris Ballard never.
Chris Ballard is an excellent drafter. There's everything it shows.
Hey, someone rolled the tape from last year.
Right.
Roll the tape. Ballard never trades up. He never trades up.
He doesn't. I'm hoping he does this year. I'm saying I hope
You
he
should
does.
You should write him a letter, dear Mr. Ballard.
I'll probably just go on and say,
Prove me wrong.
Yeah. I never said he was going to trade up. I said I hope he trades up. I said I think he should trade up, but I don't know if he will. or
Double
not.
dog dare.
Yeah,
you to
I was
trade.
about to say that.
Yeah.
You should double dog dare him. I double dog.
Cue that Eminem song where someone's like, "Dear Slim."
Yeah.
Right.
Dear Mr. I'm too good to call or write my fans. This will be the last draft. No. Okay. Too far? All right.
Yeah,
Always.
that was too far. But listen, I don't know if
Always.
he will or not. I don't think he's not a guy that usually trades up. I just hope he will. I'm not saying he will. I'm not saying he won't. I hope he does.
All right. Well, Matt Briggs.
Yeah, same with Paris. There's not really. I mean, D'Amico Ryans is down there in combine with Casario scouting out the talent. I'm excited for free agency. We have the 3rd most money, and we have 11 picks in the draft. So the offseason is going to be huge for us, and I'm excited to see what happens. So, but look, all the Texans fans that said we need to trade up to 1. Why? Like, just don't do it. You either get Bryce Young or CJ Stroud, or you trade back and pick up Derek Carr and get Anthony Richardson.
I still can't believe you
Like-
won Derek Carr. Like,
Yeah, why not? I mean, he's not that bad of a quarterback.
I hope you get him.
I hope they
I
take
would
CJ Stroud just to get Harish upset.
Oh, I'll be pissed.
That's the quarterback I want. I want CJ Stroud, but
No, don't jump. No. Don't jump on the train now. The train's been rolling for a long time.
I've been on the train since Deshaun Watson left. I don't know what you're talking about. So, but yeah, I'm just excited for the draft. I'm hoping we make some moves too, but I don't see the Bears trading back because the price is going to be too high. I don't think these teams are going to give up multiple first rounds, especially with the quarterback draft going to be the class next year going to be better than what it is this year. So
I was gonna say, Matt, you've never been on the CJ Stroud train. You've been on the Caleb Williams train.
I have, but this year I would take CJ Stroud.
Yeah, it's interesting to see which other. I honestly think Casario might go defense in this draft and stack.
I'll be
defense.
I'll be
Why
fine with
wouldn't he?
I'll be fine with Roy Anderson at 2. Use the 12th pick to get Anthony Richardson or something else. I really don't
Quentin
mind.
Johnson, dude. Did you see Quentin Johnson today?
Yeah.
That dude is a fucking animal. I hated that motherfucker.
I want-
He's good.
also at 33rd, I want Darnell. I think his name's Darnell Washington, the tight end. Dude put on a showing at the combine. So
I heard it was pretty good. I heard what's his name? Shefty was saying he was doing really well.
Yeah. But other than that, for the Texans, that's it. Ready to roll it out.
Good. Well, if nobody else has anything, listen, somebody needs to send me this Pat Mahomes video. I just want to throw that out. If you're watching or if you're on the show.
It is not.
It's been scrubbed. It's been scrubbed.
Not hard to find.
It's in all the news.
It's not
articles.
hard to find.
Video is in the news articles.
If anybody can find it, it's Jung Ho. I mean, he has it in his library.
Yeah, he probably.
It is not hard to find.
He's actually the one that hacked the webcam.
Yeah.
Right.
That saw it.
He's like,
He's
oh,
saying
finally,
the
we got
security
Jack
cam.
Mahomes.
Finally.
You guys don't understand. You don't understand. Those webcams don't need to be hacked. They're already hacked.
Right.
If it's
Well, yeah.
turned on, everybody can watch it in my office.
Like right now, they're watching it.
In real time. Like.
Great.
All
Sam,
right.
you don't put tape over your webcam, I've noticed.
Yeah. You watch me, John?
Hey, well, I see your living room all the time. You're never in there.
What's her name from Bob's Burgers? Louise. Working like Louise in my living room. All right. Huh?
You can see that's why I use a mirrorless camera that I can literally unplug the cord. There is no webcam. There's nothing built in. So it's literally
People say all the
physically-
time, like, you know that the government can listen and watch you through your Alexa. And I was like, I don't care. Are they gonna listen to me yell at my kids? Like,
You don't want to worry
Hi,
about
John.
the government. It's just that the no. It's not the government doing it. It's the people who own the Alexa is going to take all that stuff you say and they say, hey, we own it. That's fine. We made the product. We own all of the audio that you send back to us.
I'm gonna start doing that.
Well,
just
that's
to
good.
find
So
out.
they
whoever
own-
wants to buy it,
so-
whoever that may be.
so Bezos owns this part that they can hear, but they don't own the intellectual property that you guys are saying. So we're good.
I hope they use all of the things they've
Wherever it's
recorded
at.
me saying to create an AI of me so that I can continue to annoy people even after I'm dead.
Oh my God! Someone kill
I'll-
it.
I'm
If
gonna
there was
start-
ever an AI that was going to go rogue and murder all of humanity, it would definitely be an AI created off of the
Someone
recordings
kill that.
my
Someone
I'm-
squashed the digital DNA of the second best Josh Allen.
Sam, thanks for giving me that idea. I'm gonna do that just to freak out my kids. Out of nowhere, be like, "Hey, John!" and wave at my Alexa just to freak them out.
John,
How you
what's up? They're gonna be like, what?
Yeah.
All right, well, Josh
Allen.
Allen. Josh Allen. Oh.
Before we sign off, here in a couple of weeks, we will have ex-NFL cheerleader Jordan Price. She's the voice of the Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp. I guess she's a huge Jaguars fan, so she'll be on to talk football with us.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
She says she's gonna bring her pet rat on. So
oh, no. Wait, does she really have one, or is that a joke?
No,
I was
I'm
like,
joking.
please don't.
That's what passes for funny jokes down there in Texas.
I'm really
Too
glad I
safe,
never
too
saw
safe.
one of those rats in the stadium because I would have not renewed my tickets, by the way. But anyways, all right, Josh Allen, where do we find you?
Josh Gives Up on Twitter is probably the easiest place to find me, and then obviously in all of the government lists, no-fly lists, all the different lists. Find me there also.
Harish Nukala.
I'm on all the socials at the Uncle Gandhi.
Matt Briggs.
A1 Day One Texans, and on Wednesday nights you can find me at Texans Fan Battle.
And Asian Ha.
Inquiries, complaints, you can find me at Josh Gives Up on Twitter.
Right. Yep.
OnlyFans.
And you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Sammy Football with an I.